Hey everyone, my name is Nathan Payne. Welcome to another episode of Coffee and Crypto. I've got a real treat for you guys. We have Octopus here from Elixir. He's part of business development and partnerships. And me and you have had some great chats over the last few months. And I'm really excited to be able to have you here on the show just to kind of talk a little bit more about Elixir and all the awesome things you guys are doing. And why don't we start with, how did you get involved in Elixir and what's really the background there?
Yeah, let's go for it. Thank you very much, first of all, for having me. It's such a pleasure. Like, we've been talking a lot, as you said, and I remember last time we were talking for more than an hour.
Yeah,
We should take this to the podcast. So, this is awesome. And I've been doing some crazy stuff. Like, before I joined Elixir, I was a chef on a restaurant. After that, I just ran into creating Discord for agencies and a lot of stuff.
Mm-hmm.
And that just fit me into starting some kind of business model or something with a couple of friends, and it was linked directly with Axie Infinity, so you can imagine. And that was the start of everything. And I remember receiving a call from my father, and he was telling me like, but you are on blockchain or what? And I remember telling my friends, hey guys, do we use blockchain or what's that? And now I checked the password, and I was like, man, so that was crazy. And yeah, after that, I started my own company with two friends, two partners, really good ones. And we started on the marketing side for Web3 content creators, like an agency. And we created a newsletter, like a newspaper, for mainly gaming. Like, I was always the crazy guy that was telling them, do not post any click-throughs, do not post any scams or things that other websites are posting. Let's make some real gaming content.
Yeah.
And just on that time, I met Elixir, because it was a matter of time, because we were looking into what they were looking. It was kind of the same road. So yeah, I just talked to them. We started a really good conversation, and we were talking for a long, 5 or 6 months. And after that, they just sent a message in the group we used to have. Hey guys, we're looking for this. If you know someone that is available for this, that was like, we should jump into it. I think they're doing something really amazing, and I don't want to miss this opportunity. So we instantly have a call with the team, and they were like, okay, let's go for it. Let's test it out. I think that the relationship is really good. And here I am.
That's awesome.
It's been almost 6 months already.
Nice.
And then time flies, man.
It really does. You're absolutely right. Elixir's doing some amazing things, and that's a big reason why we wanted to be involved in the partnership program too. Like, what you guys are doing, it's the Steam of Web3, right? Like, that's an easy way to explain it, but you guys do so much more for blockchain, for Web3 gaming. It's not like you're just a launcher, and I think that's something that I want to highlight here, as like, from the outside, that's maybe what people think, and it's like, no, go look at their Twitter, go look at what they're doing. Like, there's so much more. And I know that there's this rewards program that you guys are working on. And what can you really tell us about that? I know it's not quite out yet, but yeah, I'd love to be able to share some of that stuff with our community here.
Yeah, for sure. I need to be tight on this. I don't want to share any information. But we were talking about this before the interview, and yeah, it's something that we've been building for a long time. Like, we were checking like Steam, Epic Games, and it was always the same. Like, what can we build that is juicy for Web2 users and is juicy for Web3 users? Because sometimes people just try to, divide them, and it's like, no, they're all gamers. They just want to play something, and some of them want to earn something, and some of them just want to play with the skins or with a battle pass or something like that. And we started exploring this reward system. We started conversations with Telos, and it was like, okay, this is a good point. This is what we want to do, and you guys look like perfect ones to start this. And yeah, we even ran a side event on Tokyo that was crazy with them. We announced the reward system, and we really know that it's something that people are gonna love, because it's not like another reward systems that you see in third-party websites or something like that, in where you need to do tons of steps in order to maybe run into an airdrop or something like that. It's just like you want a game, you want to play a game, okay, just do it. And if this game is listed on the reward system, probably you will get something. As easy as that. So that
sounds exciting to me, man. I know as a game, a lot of guilds right now are looking for that, looking for tournaments, looking for additional rewards, and I think there's probably going to be a lot of tryhards with that.
Totally. We've been running tournaments with our games like for a long time right now. And I know that I can check some names and some like nicknames. And it's like, okay, this guy sounds familiar for me, and I've been checking him in 20 leaderboards. 3 months. This guy is just a real tryhard. He's just playing everything, and that's great for us because we think that people should be testing, should be trying new things. I remember we've been talking about what I'm playing right now, and I remember that 2 years ago or something like that, I was only stuck with 2 or 3 games. And it was like, okay, I'm just gonna play these until I get tired. And when I get tired, I just turn off the PC and go watch a movie, go watch a video. And now it's like, man, what you were doing, there's a lot to play. There's a lot of awesome games that are just hidden gems or something like that. And I think it's a really good way to highlight these guys or these indie games that are built with not too many resources, let's say it like that. And they're doing an amazing job. So we think that this is the right way to help the projects, to help the ecosystem, to help with the Web2 adoption, and to make players just have a great time.
Isn't that what it's all about? We kind of understand that now. It's like fun first, but the rewards and the blockchain technology has so much to add to games. It's I think that's one silver lining to this bear market, is it's making people realize, we can't just have these clicker games anymore, which are basically like deep 5 platforms in the background. They need to be engaging. They need to be fun. And maybe I think this is a great segue to talk about, how do you guys help games? What's the process like getting on Elixir? How does that whole work?
We've managed to make it extremely easy and extremely fast. We've learned a lot from Steam, from Epic, from another web launchers or trade launchers. And what we do right now is first of all, we test the game. We test what they're doing. And I always tell the gamers or the developers the same. It's I don't want to check the final product. I don't want to see if it is running with more than 60 FPS. I just want to check that you're building a real game.
Yep.
That's it. And that's the first step. We have the test team. They test it out. They send me the report. It's okay, game's looking great. I usually test it when I have some time or free time. And after that, the process takes us 1 day or 2 days.
Oh, wow.
As soon as we create everything for them in order to be on the launcher itself or on the web, on the tab, we just usually help them running tournaments because we know it's a great way to bring new users and to show that the game is alive, mainly. And that's what we do. We help them with the tournament creation and we support them. After that, we usually make you know or just text you all our content creators and tell you hey, this new game is looking great and it's about to be launched. And it's great because it's like a win-win relationship in where all our content creators can get information about new games that are just about to be launched or on early development stages or something like that. And for the game, it's such a great help to have you as content creators testing the games. And obviously, we have something that I think no one got on the ecosystem, which is 24/7 support. We hate texting someone as a brand and waiting for, 1 month until you receive back an email and another guy because they just changed the strategy and there's another hey, what you were into. So for us, it's just creating human communication and human relationships. And as soon as you make it, it's really easy to work together.
That's awesome, man. I know a couple things I want to talk about that, like the content creators for the games. Like, what a great way to help games get more content out there. When I talk to other games about Elixir, that's something I say, like, hey, the part is these content creators, they have reason and they want to be playing and testing these games. Like, just by getting your game on Elixir, you're exposing it to so much. Like, they're not asking for a bunch of money to do that. It's going to help the exposure. And then another thing that I think has really impressed me, and I think this is important to know for a lot of players who maybe aren't content creators, is the security that you guys offer for content creators. So it's very common for any kind of content creator. I mean, I get Telegram messages every other day. Here's a beta, test my game. Here's an executable. No, that is a malicious file, right? So having a launcher where I can be like, well, here's all these games that I can test, and I'm not downloading executables from random Telegram messages. I can trust everything I'm seeing because it's on the launcher. Like, that's huge for content creators, to give people a safe space to be able to do that and not have to worry. That I think that's something that maybe a lot of just people who are playing games don't realize, just how empowered, you have made content creators by doing that. So I really want to give you guys kudos. I think that solved a huge concern or issue with content creators. And I mean, I even know other ones that, ran into issues with that because they got reached out on Discord or Telegram, and game looked nice and it was really a fake website. I mean, you've heard this.
Yeah, and I was suffering that like 1 year before, because I was running a lot of ideas and a lot of business models with friends and trying things and trying games. And I know what it feels like to open your MetaMask and check that it's empty, or checking the malware and checking that, hey, these files look like something weird, you should delete them. And for us, is the first thing, like, first, enjoy the games. So you just need to get rid of these kind of concerns and just forget about it. Join Elixir, play whatever. Maybe you check 20 games and you only like two. Okay, but you know that you're still safe. You don't need to take one and try out that, okay, not infected, and this is safe. And after that, it's like, okay, I've been able to check one game, let's hope. And it's something that we put a lot of love and a lot of time on it. Even with the releases, even with the new updates of the games, we check everything. And we have a really hardcore system like to check this. We do not okay, this maybe could be a false positive. Okay, then you need to fix it in order to be able to.
Nice.
And we know that it's a hard time, and when you're like a tiny team, it's hard for you to check, because maybe you're only missing a sign on a .x or on a data file or something like that.
Yep.
But for us, it's like, okay, if you need help on finding what you guys are missing in order to pass our security test, which comes after the quality test, we can help you out, but we cannot put you on the launcher. Everything must be clear, everything must be safe, and we need to check that it's a real team behind the screen.
Yes, I think that's amazing. Like, the amount of support you guys offer, not just for content creators, but for games, the development teams. Like, for me personally, and I've always kind of got this impression from you guys, you really care about this industry. You're not just here. You guys don't have that corporate cold structure like you experience in Web2 gaming. Like, you're very approachable. You're easy to talk to. There's so many opportunities for guilds, for games, for players, for content creators. I truly believe you guys are leading the way when it comes to this. And it's exciting to see Elixir grow. I remember downloading it a long time ago and just kind of playing around. And even the user interface, just how clean it is, like, easy to connect your wallet, easy to search for the game, easy to read. And I'm kind of wondering, how did you maybe this is a difficult question, but how'd you guys nail it so good right from the start? Like, normally, like, this is something you'd have to evolve, but you guys must have like a UI team or like the concept team that put this together. And like, maybe here's another question. I'm not sure if you can give us anything away. Are there anything new that you guys are thinking about adding into the platform, or anything that you're thinking about kind of experimenting with that you can share with us today that we can look forward to in the
Yeah, for sure. First of all, I think everything is about passion. Like you could have a team with 100 workers or even more, and they just work 8 hours and they cut off. And if you send them a message, hey, I'm on holiday, it's not my time. And for us, it's like everyone that is working at Elixir feels like a tiny bit of Elixir, at least is he owns that. And I think that's the way to go when you build something. You need to feel like this is a project that is not owned by one person or one team or one investor. It's like our project, and you should feel it like that. So for us, it's always hard, as you can imagine, to build something good and to know that people are going to love it. But it takes a lot of time in order to check the feedback from our users, from content creators, from investors, from I've been running like test or QA side QAs with my Web2 friends, as I used to call them. And I was like, hey guys, would you be able to just download our launcher and just check it and feel that and tell me how you feel when you navigate and when you download a game, and give me some feedback. So I think it's all about passion. When you have a team that is as committed as we are on developing the best for the users and for the game developers and for everyone, it just comes with it. And on the other side, regarding the other question, I can tell you that there's something that is gonna be happening, I hope in about 1 month, 2 months, that is gonna change a lot for the Web2 user experience and for the Web3 user experience on the launcher itself.
Okay.
It's something that I cannot talk about until we make it public, but it's something that is different, and I can tell you that there's not even one Web3 launcher that have this technology.
Oh, wow.
Something totally new, and we know that it's gonna be awesome.
Well, I can't wait to hear about that. Then maybe we'll have to have you back on the show and we can talk about it.
Yeah, and I think I would need to maybe sign some NDAs with it.
That's all.
It's something that I think is going to change a lot of things, and it's going to make the onboarding process of a Web2 user extremely easy.
Nice. That's something that's really important right now in the industry. We're all kind of talking about less friction, easy onboarding, also how to get Web2 moved over, how to easy onboard Web2. It's really interesting seeing what a lot of these games are doing to kind of work around that and with clients and stuff like that. I just feel blessed to be part of this industry right now and seeing the evolution. Feels like when the internet was first in inception, it's just now we get to experience it with a technology that's moving faster than the adoption.
And it's hard, like to keep it. It's really hard because you have a lot of people. I remember when it was a really crack on the premises of the Bored Ape Judge Club. And I remember my friends telling me, hey, what's going on with the apes? What's going on? Is Web3 gonna die? And I was like, man, I'm not even concerned. Like, I'm just focused into gaming. And
that's right.
And blockchain is a way to build your games, and it's a way to make sure that your user owns the time he invests in the game and owns everything that he buys. So for me, it's like they can go to zero, man, because it's not gonna change. Like, I don't know. I'm not a lucky guy or lucky enough to have a Bored Ape Judge Club with my wallet. So for me, it's just like we are into gaming, and that's it. And I've got a lot of conversation with my Web2 friends, and I remember they were like, "Hey, but crypto games are dead, right?" And I was like, "Just hear me out. A crypto game right now is just a real game. Imagine you're playing CSGO, and when you open a loot box and you get a skin, that skin is 100% yours."
Yes.
It's not. It doesn't need to be linked with third-party websites, malicious websites that just tell you, "Hey, you can earn a lot of money if you send us your skins, or you trade it with us," and a lot of gambling involved. And I was telling them, imagine that everything that you bought before is yours.
Yep.
And they were like, okay, not bad. Maybe I should try.
Yeah.
So yeah, it's just about making an experience that is extremely funny, and so you forget about what is going on the background. And
Well, yeah. And people think it's about like all the quick earnings money. It's like, I think what's been good about this bear market is it's really shown the industry. It's about fun games and what blockchain technology can do for games, not necessarily about making a quick buck. I mean, we've all seen those get rich quick stuff on the internet for years and years. Does that ever lead anywhere for people? Generally not. People kind of understand, to be careful with that. But like what you said, it's the owning your own assets. And what I like too is it's really shown the smart companies, right? The ones who have took this time to build, who are really committed to their project. And we're seeing some really fun games, come out compared to even a year and a half ago, where it was like a little harder to find a good game or one that you totally deep into. And I feel like at this point, man, there's so many games coming out where like our research team is having a hard time keeping up. We've looked at over 3,200 projects, and it's like that. Actually, I think that even number is like 3,400 at this point. I have to double check. That's crazy to see.
It's crazy, but it is what it is. Like, it's hard to survive a beer market, but it's just what you told. It's just about if you're able to survive as a company, as a Web3 company to a beer market, your product is good enough.
That's right.
Because if you're not able to survive it, it's just because the entire project was based on the economic side or
that's
the earning side.
Yeah.
And that's not the way to go for us. So
yeah, more than incentives play a game.
Yeah, probably like on Web2, like right now when you install a new game, if you're the first one, you get a discount on the battle. If you get referred from a friend, you get a skin. So there's something that Web2 games are already doing. So that's why we should reinvent something that is already invented. No, let's just work into what people love and what people enjoy and add a plus of technology. That is something that is the future. So, okay, let's make it happen right now. You want to use it? Awesome, use it. You don't, you just want to enjoy. You're more than welcome on Elixir, because we're not going to push you into create 24 wallets, add a token, go from there. No, man, I hate that. I hate that thing. So just click, create an account in 2 clicks, literally, and enjoy. And we will check after. If you spend a good time, that's awesome. If you don't, you will.
1 second here. I'm just doing an interview right now. Need you to... I'm not sure if the mic picked up the door there. My wife just came out.
I wasn't hearing anything, man.
Thank you. I feel like it's too loud for the audio guys, so I wanted to pause it there. Actually, I think we're almost... I want to ask one more question about tournaments, so let's just kind of jump right in.
Good. Go ahead.
So I want to ask a little bit more about tournaments and kind of what games can expect. How do you guys help them with that? Is it through the platform? Is it like events? Can you just give us a little bit more details about how that whole process looks?
Sure. First of all, we usually love to help them like sponsor the tournament. It's something that we think is a must, because they are believing in our technology. They're believing into putting their babies on our launcher. It's like when you create a game, it's something that you're gonna feel extremely attached.
Yeah.
Because they know a lot of CEOs and they feel like their game is something precious, and I can understand that. So we usually support a tournament or sponsor a tournament in order to show them or respect and thank them for being into a launcher. And on the other side, we have all the technology ready. So if you jump into Elixir and you go to event side and you check that a tournament is running, if you click on it, you will see the motherboard in real time. That's something that I feel on our side, so we can help all the games. And it's something that I always tell them, like, hey, do you already have a tournament setting? And then some of them are like, yeah, we do it. Okay, we can link it. And it's going to be extremely easy for us to make a tournament. And when they don't have that technology, it's like, okay, awesome, you get this, and let's make a tournament together. So yeah, we really like tournaments. We really like to help the projects on that side, because esports and competitive gaming, it's something really important. And
It is.
no,
I feel like that's something that, when we started our game guild, I think we talked about this a little bit before, kudos to all the other game guilds out there and their scholar models, but we decided we didn't want to do that because there was no esports focused game guilds or a place for investors to come, and get part of a community. And we know esports and tournaments and competition is something that drives the gaming industry quite well, right? Like I can pick League of Legends, Counter-Strike, Call of Duty, Fortnite, pick your game. It's the competitive side, the streaming, the esports, the tournaments, that's huge in itself. And I understand everyone was more like, oh, we just have assets, let's lend it out and get people to operate it, and then we're going to keep the money. And, we were like, we want to do this a little bit differently. So it's really exciting to see, like for us, we've proven our game guild works in this market. We're sustainable. We're here. Like we've got 5-6 years of runway easy, and even then I'd argue we probably have a decade, if we really took a look at the numbers, so to speak. I see other game guilds struggling because they bought a lot of assets and they do a 70-30 split. And now if you can't earn the token in the game, so for us, it's really, I definitely want the best for everyone in this industry. But you brought up a point, if you can survive in this bear market, it really shows, you've got a quality product or quality.
your values.
That's right. And your values, right? And were you smart with the last bull run? Did you go buy a bunch of Bored Apes, or did you actually put the money somewhere, maybe convert it into stable coins and put it into a treasury to help pay for things? And
Actually, or invested just in people. Invested in contracts in order to check for something that can help you build when the bull market comes.
That's right.
It's as easy as that, but it's really hard to make the good decisions when you see numbers dropping. But it's just about sitting down, checking everything, and you just need to be sure about your product. If you're sure about your product and you know that it had got enough value to survive whatever happens, you're not going to be suffering.
That's right. That's why I love what you guys are doing. Like, you're not just a launcher, you're supporting community, you're supporting players, you're supporting projects, you're supporting content creators. Like, you guys are really doing a lot. So I just wanted to thank you, Octopus, for really coming on here and getting a chance to talk to me and everyone in our community. I know a lot of people are familiar with Elixir, so if you're watching this and you haven't downloaded it, you definitely got to get on top of that. We'll have information down in the description below. Be sure to do that. Check out their Twitter. And I'm looking forward to hearing about more of the rewards program, and then keeping our ear to the floor for like the next couple months and seeing kind of what else,
He'll be the first one. He'll be the first one. Thank you very much for having me. It's been such a pleasure. And it was like we were talking for 5 minutes.
Right. It's very, so I'll have to get you on the show again sometime soon, man. It's
that's for sure.
Fantastic. Well, thanks so much for everyone watching today. Of course, subscribe to the channel if you haven't already. It really helps us out for all these great content that we have coming out for you guys on a consistent basis, everything related to Web3 gaming. Smash that like button so we can show this to lots of other people. And we'll see you guys in the next video. Till next time, cheers.